Hello music lovers and welcome back to the Woodshed. This will be the last episode we do before Christmas, so hope Santa Claus is pretty good to you. This week I want to teach you a little something I've been working on, combining cross-picking with hybrid playing. Let's get into it. So cross-picking and hybrid picking are two things that I use in my playing quite often. What I decided to do and experiment with was kind of blending the two to see where that could lead me. This is influenced a lot by banjo players like Scott Pestle and Bela Fleck and that constant rolling sound they get. I can never get away from it. I love it so freaking much and I want that kind of sound in my playing. So I came up with a little something for you. Let's take a listen at it. Roll that footage. Alright, so that sounds pretty cool. I've got a little delay in verb happening. I've got my signal chain is my pedal board into my aux. If you want to see my pedal board, go back a couple episodes and there it is. Alright, let's dig into the technique. This thing is twofold. One, you got to be pretty good with cross picking. Two, you got to be pretty good with hybrid picking. Don't worry if you're not. That's why we're here. Let's take a simple example to work on our cross picking. So the chords are based out of our E diatonic kind of sound. We've got E, we've got I think we got some C sharp minor in there happening, some F sharp minor, we've got some A, and we've got some A major 7. Let's just start in with that A major 7 sound right up at the 12th fret. We're gonna have 1 in the key of A. We're gonna have the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. One of my favorite sounds, I use major 7s in my music all the time. So let's take the first 3 notes, 1, 3, 5. We're gonna alternate pick those. That's essentially what's gonna lead us into the cross-picking half of this technique. Now for that rolling sound, I hold the strings down with my left hand for the chord. What I recommend is trying to ascend up and then descend back down. So you're going from lowest to highest and then from highest to lowest. I alternate pick everything. Now I recommend trying to ascend it only. Let me slow that down for you. Now this is a really important tip right here, pro tip coming at you. Your technique will change and feel different when you play it slow versus when you play it fast. I know there's going to be a lot of comments regarding speed. You're going to have 2 different gears in your right hand. The fast version will feel different. To me, it's a smaller motion. The slower version is a little wider of a swing. I use a little palm muting to get the notes to pop out a little bit more. Now to practice that, I recommend traveling through all different kinds of chord shapes, whether it be like this kind of shape, or this, or this. So you see I'm just playing like rock and roll E, and then B, A, E, B, A. You can do it with just the chords of E, B, and A, 1, 4, and 5, 1, 5, and 4. That's really beneficial because a lot of songs just are 1, 4, 5, or maybe 1, 6 minor, 4, 5. And you you could travel through the chords like that. So if you're anything like me, you love Steve Morse. He uses a cross-picking pattern across 4 strings. You'll recognize that 4-string pattern from things like Too Many Notes. You could practice that, obviously, by just going across 4 strings. You could try it, for instance, just with an E chord. And it starts putting it in triplet feel. Right? The interesting thing about that is it's extremely difficult to do. I feel like I've got a pretty good picking technique, and it's still not an easy pattern to pull off. With that said, you can swap the highest note for the middle finger on your right hand. Now let's take the same E chord, rock and roll E, and we're going to cross pick the first 3 and then use a hybrid for the last note, the 4th note. Now this is beneficial because you'll be able to change the string that you hit. Let's say we want this E sus2 kind of sound, and we want F sharp and B to alternate. So now you've got the ability to jump across a string in your right hand. Like I said, I'm still trying to perfect all the different uses of this, and I hope you guys come up with some really cool ways to use it. So let's walk through the little thing I played at the beginning. Let's just take the shapes that I used. I used A major 7, I ascended, descended, ascended, descended, and then I ascended only. One more time. Up, down, up, down, up, up. Did you hear it? So when I play the high B, I put that down with my pinky in my left hand, and I play it with the middle finger on the right. Check it out. And then when I hit that pattern, I stop, and I don't stop the 8th note pattern, but I stop the ascending, descending thing, right? So I'm going up and down and up, and then I do 2 ups in a row. And then we play E to B. So here's another pro tip for you. When I'm working on a new technique, something that's meant to improve facility in my hands, I'm always trying to apply it to something that sounds musical. That way I feel like I'm gaining some kind of melodic movement, some kind of composition, something that still retains musicality, and it's not just technique for technique's sake. Okay, so let's go over it one more time. Let's cross pick the first 3. Now let's try to cross pick all 4. Let's slowly increase the tempo. Now let's swap out the difficult note, which is the 4th note, right? We're going to cross pick 3 and then hybrid the last one. And at this point, I'm just using the middle string set. You can put it on the lowest string set, you can put it on the highest string set. At the beginning of the tune, across the C sharp minor 7, I use the high string set. It sounds really lush and really open, and I really like that sound a lot. It's almost like wind chimes or something, you know? It sounds really, really cool. And you can extend this out to any shapes that you might find interesting. I really like suspensions and major 7s and things like that. I think this technique sounds really, really cool. And there's not a lot of guitar players that I hear that are kind of getting this kind of sound, so I thought it'd be cool to share it with you. And remember guys, your technique when you're playing slow is completely different from your technique when you're playing fast, okay? So my advice is to jump over, maybe check out some Grady stuff. He talks about this A good friend of mine that I've had on the woodshed is Martin Miller. He and I echo a lot of the same thoughts when it comes to alternate picking, cross picking, any kind of difficult right hand technique. And that's that it absolutely feels different when you're rolling at a slower tempo versus when you're playing at a faster tempo. Okay, if you're looking for more in-depth lessons and more in-depth videos, you can jump over to patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. There you're going to find tones, tabs, backing tracks, Axe Effects patches, all that good stuff. One more thing that's kind of cool is for my combo tier and higher subs, once a week we get together and we do a 2-hour masterclass. It's open for any question regarding my playing or tones or anything of that nature. If you're looking to buy any music and albums, you can go to AndyWoodMusic.com. Thank you guys so much for joining in on the Woodshed. I won't see you till after Christmas, so I hope everyone has a happy holidays and Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. Cheers.